For today's video, I bought 5 of some of the cheapest gel blasters that you can find on Amazon in 2025. All these blasters range from a price between $9 to $21. And I'm going to be seeing, are cheap gel blasters like this that you find on Amazon really worth your money? I'm going to start off by unboxing all these blasters, then do tests later in the video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But anyways, let's start off by unboxing the $9 gel blaster. Okay, starting off with the $9 blaster. Here we got some barrels. Looks like we have the hoppers for the blasters. Some little BBs, looks like maybe 2,000 rounds of blue ammo. Then we got blaster 1, and then we got blaster 2. And as you can see, these things are very, very small. These blasters, when I bought them, were $9, but they are not in stock on Amazon anymore. You're gonna see that with maybe a few of these blasters on this list, along with maybe sometime in the future, maybe even when this video gets released. So to put these blasters together, you take this and screw it right on the front of each blaster. Then you take the hopper, put it on just like that. And then out of that, you got the blasters pretty much all set. And to prime these blasters is a little weird. Yeah, I'm not gonna enjoy that too much. But anyways, as you can see, these blasters actually come together quite well, and they are actually decently long now. You have the barrel that says silencer on it, and these pistols are really, really light, I will say that. And they are pretty cheap plastic, but you kind of have to expect that for especially the $9 price point. But overall, for $9, not that bad. You have these things right here, which are made to be like harder BBs, not even water grown, they're just like, I don't know how to explain it, but we're going to be testing out with pre-grown ammo that I have, but then we're going to test it with these BBs to see if they shoot any differently. But to load these blasters, all you got to do is unscrew that cap, and then you can load the bullets into there. If I'm going to guess, it's going to be anywhere from like a 30 to 40 round capacity for each of these. There's no safety switch, there's no really special features besides the hopper like that. You can't even look through the scope because, as you can see, there's bullets in there anyways. And as I said, prime it back, just like that. It feels like it's gonna break. There's a lot of movement in there, but for $9, yeah, you definitely have to expect that. But overall, I think they're actually decently cool looking blasters. You're gonna see me test out the performance of these blasters in a bit, but for now, let's get into the next blaster coming in at the $10 price point. Okay, here we have up next the $10 gel blaster. I'm pretty sure this one is available on Amazon still, but I'll pop it up on screen right now if it is or isn't. Starting off, you have 10,000 rounds of ammo, a pair of protective eyewear, a little refill bottle with a nozzle cap, then it looks like we got the orange tip for the blaster, the 1911 model itself, instruction manual, and a little target. Quite a bit of stuff coming with a $10 gel blaster, that's for sure. So to install the tip on, all you gotta do is push it in like that, and then you're pretty much all set. To release the magazine, just press this orange button right here, then it pops right out, and it's actually got a decent size magazine. If I were to guess, it holds anywhere from maybe 40 to 50 rounds. Anyways, just slide it back in like that. Then all you gotta do to shoot it, cock it back, and then pull the trigger. Feels like it's got a little bit of power for a $10 gel blaster. Other than that, as you can see, you got this little gasoline bottle. Looks like this might hold 150, 200 rounds, somewhere around there, and you can easily load it into the magazine, pull it out, open this little door right here, then you can take the nozzle and just pour your ammo in just like that. And then you can see the little target, you could pop this thing out, and then you can hang it on the wall or something. Personally, I'm probably not going to use this, but some people that do get this blaster or think about getting this blaster probably will. But for the main attraction, we have this. So as I said, pull this back, and then you can lock it up in place like that if you want to have the slide open. Then when you don't, push it down, then shoot. Like other pistol models, since this one is not electric blowback or electric at all, it won't automatically pop up the slide once you're out of ammo. So you'll have to do that yourself, but really, you're not going to be doing that with this pistol. As you can see, really cool color design we do have on it though. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan, but I can appreciate how cool it looks. You do have a really nice texture grip, and it actually is very, very comfortable to hold. Make sure you stay tuned for when we test out the performance of this. I actually have some decently high hopes for it, but for now, let's get into the next blaster coming in at a price of $15.79. This blaster coming in at a price of $15.79 comes in the smallest box in the video. Looks like we have maybe 2,000 rounds of ammo. Then we have the little blaster itself with the magazine already pre-installed into it. And it looks like we have some instruction manuals right here. So as you can see, pretty easy design. Kind of like the first one, no protective eyewear, which is surprising coming with gel blasters. Usually you would expect that to come with it. But this one is definitely probably the lightest fully built from the video. Pretty similar to the weight of the first blasters we went over, but still very, very light, and you could tell it's pretty cheap plastic. But we do have a textured grip right here. And then take the magazine out. We have a decently sized magazine. Looks like maybe it could hold 40 to 60 rounds, anywhere in that area. To load it, all you gotta do is open that door and then load the bullet straight into there. Pretty straightforward. And then I'm pretty sure to prime this blaster, like it says, gotta prime it, and then the bullets will pop right out through that hole when it's ready to shoot. But anyways, put it back in the blaster just like this. And to shoot it, prime it back, like that, and then you shoot. Looking at the plunge mechanism, I don't expect too much FPS coming from this blaster, but overall, I do like the see-through design where you can see the internals. And it definitely is pretty cheaply built, especially for a $60 price point, but still, it might have some power to it, but we're going to be testing it out later in the video. So as you might be able to tell, it's definitely based off a Glock 19 blaster. It has that little safety mechanism on the switch, but it doesn't work like the regular Glock. And as you can see, when you pull the trigger, you can see it release the spring pin inside as you cock it back. Personally, not my favorite color. They did have a blue model of this at the time, but I don't think they do anymore, and I don't think they even sell this one on Amazon anymore for now. But other than that, pretty simple design. You do have the iron sight on top, but it definitely is not the greatest thing of all time. But overall, cool gel blaster we got here. Now let's get into the next blaster, coming in at a price of $16.99. Here we got the $16.99 gel blasters. Here we have blaster number 1 and blaster number 2. Then we have the hopper slash scopes. Then of course it looks like we got, let's see, 3,000 rounds of blue ammo and 500 round packets, and that's it. So to load these things, it's a little weird, nothing I've seen before. You gotta unscrew the top, and then you load the bullet straight into there, and when you look through the sight, you're gonna be able to see the bullets. Pretty cool feature, but definitely not a great use of the scope, but it's not like you're gonna be using it anyways with a manual primed blaster. And as you can see, these things are really weird looking. They kind of look like Ansoy AKM-47s, but these ones are not electric whatsoever. They are manual prime. Pull that back. Does this one even work? This one, I don't think this one even works. What about this one? Okay, that one works. This one I'll test in a little bit, but by the looks of it, it's already broke. Okay, that's funny. Anyways, to get these things put together, all you gotta do is slide the scope on. It looks like, I think, yeah, all you gotta do is press that button back, make sure it's lined up with the feeding hole, then you can let go of that button. Same thing with this one, let go, and then the blasters are all set up, and these scopes look way too big to be put on there. But in my opinion, I think they're decently good looking blasters, especially for about $8.50 a piece. But other than that, not too much else to go on with these blasters besides this one being already oh! It works again. That's surprising. This one does work too. Okay, now we got both blasters in working function, but as you can see, they are not the greatest quality of plastic. They are definitely very cheap, and they are also very light too. Personally, I like the design of this one better for obvious reasons, but two blasters coming in at a price of $17, not that bad at all, but it's definitely going to come down to the performance of these blasters, which we will be testing in a bit. But anyways, let's get down to our last blaster, coming in at a price of $21. And here we got the blaster that I got the most hopes for, coming in at a price of $21. Open it up, here we got a target, pretty similar to the one that we went over earlier. Looks like we have maybe 8,000 rounds of pink ammo. We have the blaster itself, bright pink, definitely not my favorite color scheme, but that's all they had. We have a weird looking gear drum that looks like on the listing that it might light up. We have a pair of protective eyewear. We have a laser. We have the hopper feed neck, the hopper itself, an iron sight, which you're not going to be able to use because the hopper is going to be in the way. We have the hopper cap, an orange barrel, the charger, and an instruction manual itself. This is the closest blaster we've had in this video that is actually almost like a regular gel blaster. Let's set this box aside and get this blaster put together. I will charge this up before I get to the performance test of this blaster, but for now, stick it in just like that. Then all I gotta do is take the hopper feed neck. Then it should click into place when it's good. There we go. Then we got the hopper, install it up there. Here we have the orange tip. Then you got the laser itself. Gotta pull this tab out first. Pretty cool laser. Personally, nothing that you'd really use during any sort of gel blaster war at all, but it's definitely cool that it came with a little accessory like that. I really don't know how to get this on. I think you do have to unscrew it a little bit, but honestly, I don't want to take the time to do that. There we go. We got it on pretty good. Cheap pair of protective eyewear, 8,000 rounds of ammo. We could put the iron sight. This looks like it is the front one. Let's just slide it on like that. And then as you can see, it's a decent looking blaster. But the weird thing is that instead of this being the magazine, this is the whole battery itself. All you gotta do to get it out is press this button right here. Pull it out, takes a little bit of strength. But it's definitely a weird looking battery, especially that all these gears, I'm pretty sure, turn when you shoot it. Other than that, we have, it looks like maybe a 700 round hopper at the top, anywhere from 600 to 700. We have a very short unadjustable stock. We have a built-in priming handle, which does not work at all. The plastic is decent quality, better than most of the other blasters we've gone through in this video, but it's definitely not actual gel blaster hobby grade material. So I'm gonna go get this charged up in a bit. But other than that, there's not really much else to go over with this blaster. So let's go test out the performance of all these blasters, starting off with the $8.99 blasters that I went over before, and then we'll work my way all the way up to this. To get the best results out of all these blasters, I have grown some ammo that's made to shoot out of blasters that shoot more than 200 feet per second. So hopefully with these blasters I get the max FPS, even though in none of these blasters I guarantee you're going to shoot over 200 FPS. But anyways, let's get right to the $9 gel blaster and see how many FPS we got on that. So as I showed earlier, you have to load the ammo straight into the scope like that. Spilling quite a bit here. Shouldn't need any more than that though. Put the cap right back on. So as you might have seen when I unboxed this thing, it did come with little BBs, so we are going to test that out after I get a couple shots in with the regular gel blaster bullets. Okay, to prime it, don't like that at all. Doesn't look like it's shooting out at all. That's weird. Let's see if I get one out of there, then feed it into here. Prime it back. It looks like the bullet's too big. I'm gonna go get some different ammo to see if it works any better. Let me try the other pistol that it comes with. I'm going to use the little beads that come with the gun to see how many FPS we can actually get out of this thing. Okay, we got the beads loaded in. Let's see how fast it shoots. Shot 1, 96.1. Shot 2, 112.4. Shot 3, 110.9. Shot 4, 104.4. Shot 5, 113. Decent FPS coming from a pistol that's about $4.50. But obviously the downside is that it's not shooting the gel blaster ammo no matter what kind of ammo I use. But I also noticed that these little beads are noticeably smaller than the regular gel ball ammo that you'd see be used in other gel blasters. Even though this blaster is pretty cool, I wouldn't recommend it, especially because it doesn't use regular gel ball ammo. But if you do want to get like a little target practice gun that doesn't use real gel ball ammo, but definitely a cool thing. But since it doesn't shoot regular gel ball ammo, I will not be able to do the accuracy test because these blasters and the bullets will not work on the target. But anyways, let's get into the $9.99 gun and see if it's any better than this. Up next, the $10 1911 model. As you can see, I have the refill bottle that came with it. I'm going to open this magazine door and load some ammo into it. Hopefully this blaster is a lot better than the last one. I do have a little bit of high hopes for it, but I don't expect the highest FPS at all. Looks like we have enough ammo in there. Let's close this up. Okay, that was a little weird thing that happened there, but looks like we got the pistol all set now. Put the magazine in. Okay, a blaster that actually works, thank God. Okay, shot 1, 124.8 feet per second. Shot 2, 117.4. Misfire. Another misfire. Huh. For some reason the ammo isn't loading into the blaster like it's properly supposed to. Should be all good now. Try it now. Shot 3, 105.5. Shot 4, 120.5. Shot 5, 124.6. Actually surprisingly decent FPS coming from this blaster. Only problem, as you can see, is that even though you did load the bullets into here, I did notice that you have to pull this little spring back and then make it so the bullets load into the actual magazine chamber. And then you just let go of the slide, cock it back once, maybe twice, and then you're actually ready to shoot this thing. Don't really like that at all, but you kind of have to expect features and dumb things like that coming from an only $10 blaster. Luckily, this one will be able to partake in the accuracy test. But before we can do that, we must move on to the $15.79 gel blaster right now. I have the magazine pretty much loaded up, and as it said on the instructions, you have to press this priming handle down a little bit till bullets start popping out the front like that. Insert into the gun. Shot 1 bullet. But now it's not shooting. There's one. There's again. That's weird. But anyways, let's see how fast it shoots. Shot 1, 115.1. Shot 2, 111. Shot 3, 102.8. Shot 4, 112. Shot 5, 110.7. A bit more than I thought would have came out of this blaster. I expected around the 90 FPS point, but still, not the highest, but definitely really good for a blaster of this size and price. Luckily, this one will be able to participate in the accuracy test, so anyways, let's get right on to the next blaster coming in at $17 to see how fast those ones shoot. As you can guess, I'm probably not the strongest guy ever, but getting the hopper cap off the top of this hopper was actually kind of hard to do. I had to take it off and then like twist it off like that. But anyways, let's see how many FPS this blaster shoots. Cock it back like that. Shot 1, 78.4. Oh. Having the same problem that the pink one had earlier. Okay. It shot out multiple that time. Shot 2, 107.7. That's definitely not right. Shot 3, 104.2. Shot 4, 95.9. And shot 5, 100. Definitely not the highest FPS, and actually the lowest in this video so far. Personally, I think it's a cool looking blaster, but as you can see, the performance did not come out well at all. But even though the performance didn't come out well, at least this one can perform in the accuracy test. Anyways, let's get on to the final blaster now that I got that battery charged up and see how fast that blaster shoots FPS and RPS wise, since it's the only electric blaster and full auto blaster in this video. And finally, we have the blaster that I have the most hope for. It took me a little while to find the on and off switch, but it's actually right on the bottom of the stock just like that. For $21, that already sounds absolutely insane. Let's get this thing put to the chronograph, see the FPS, and then we're going to see the RPS. I have decently high expectations for this, especially for only being $21. Okay, let's turn this blaster on. Jeez, it shoots way too fast for me able to count a single bullet. Oh, I did just notice that. Once you shoot it, zoom in on here. Hopefully it focuses. It spins that around. It's kind of a cool feature, but not like actually necessary to have, but it just comes with it. It does waste a little bit of battery life, but oh well. Anyways, let's actually test out the FPS now. Shot 1, 142.6. Shot 2, 139.3. Shot 3, 142.3. Shot 4, 144.2. And shot 5, 143.3. Highest FPS of the video for sure, and it actually is very, very responsive on the trigger. Now let's see how many RPS this blaster shoots. 13.2 rounds per second coming out of a $21 blaster. That is absolutely insane. Definitely the best blaster performance-wise in the video. Easily. I'm going to test out the cheapest blaster one more time to see if it was just a little error on me. Okay, I loaded some dehydrated bullets into here. They're much smaller than a regular bullet size. Still not working whatsoever. Yeah. Something's wrong with these pistols. It looks like they're only meant to shoot the BBs that come with it, and the Gel Blaster add-on was maybe just a little bit of a scam. So definitely don't buy this blaster. I will speak more on it in a bit though. But instead of talking about this anymore, I will talk about it later in the video. Let's get on to the second cheapest Gel Blaster and see how the accuracy on that is. Okay, we have the $10 pistol right here. Let's see how accurate this thing is. Whoa. Okay, ran out of ammo in the magazine chamber, but that is one of the most accurate cheap gel blasters I have ever tested on this channel. I was astonished because that iron slate actually lines up really, really well, and as you can see, the grouping was very, very tight, especially from a distance like this away for the blaster that only shoots like 110 feet per second. But anyways, let's get this magazine chamber loaded up one more time and see if we can get different results. Let's try to aim for the body this time though. Decent, not even decent, great grouping coming from a $10 gel blaster. But anyways, let's get on to the next gel blaster coming at a price of $15.79 and see if that does any better. You will see these old bullet marks on there because I'm doing it straight after, but hopefully you guys will be able to tell them apart. Okay, here we got the next gel blaster. There we go, okay. Let's go. Of course it's not shooting anymore. Let's see if it shoots upside down. Of course it shoots upside down. It's not going to be the easiest to aim, though. Okay, I gotta do that every time I want to shoot. So far, it just keeps misfiring, and it's not accurate at all once it does shoot. Okay. Accuracy-wise and misfeeding-wise, definitely not the greatest thing ever. It was doing decent in the FPS test, but now it's just not working like it should. Cool blaster overall, but anyways, let's get into the next blaster and see how accurate those ones are. Okay, coming up next, we have a blaster with a scope and an iron sight on top, but you can't use either, because if you look into that, probably can't see it very well, but there's ammo in there, and you can't even look through the sight. But anyways, let's test it out. Okay, it's a little weird because sometimes it shoots out 2 bullets. It's almost like every other shot that it shoots 2 bullets. But other than that, when it does shoot 1 bullet, the accuracy is decently consistent, but it's nothing that you'd actually want to use during a gel blaster war, especially when it's manual like that. But anyways, let's get on to the final blaster, and I'm gonna absolutely mag dump that thing onto this target. Time for the final blaster. Whew. I think it's insane. That was fun. I did have to cover my eyes because they were rebounding back at me and they started hitting me all over the body. But yeah, as you could tell, this is easily the best blaster of the video. Has the best accuracy, best FPS, best RPS, best features. And for $21, you can't go wrong with getting this thing. I was very surprised by this. But anyways, let's get back to the desk so I can reveal my final thoughts on all these blasters, which one you should stay away from and which ones you might want to get. I hope you guys can As I was gonna say, I hope you guys can appreciate me lining all these blasters up like this, because it took me longer to balance these than to even unbox these blasters itself. But to go over all these blasters real quick, these ones, highly recommend staying away from, even though it's only like $4.50 per pistol. They don't even shoot gel blaster bullets unless you dehydrate them to the perfect amount for them to shoot out the barrel. So overall, I'd recommend staying away from these unless you do want to get them and use the little BBs that come with them. But other than that, stay clear of them. This $10 gel blaster, I do like it a lot. I do like the looks of it. I like the feeling. The FPS is actually decently good. The accuracy is really good, especially for that pistol. The only problem is the magazine issue where you gotta pull it out every like 8 to 9 rounds and then just, you know, as you saw me in the video, you have to pull the spring back, whatever you call it. Really cool pistol we got here, especially for the $10 price point. If you're on a budget and you do want to get a pistol for really, really cheap, that might be just the way to go. Next up, we have the $15.79 gel blaster. Sure, it's cool looking. Sure, it has a realistic looking magazine. Sure, it has a realistic body design, but definitely would stay clear of that because half the time it doesn't even shoot when you're holding it upright, and I don't know exactly what's wrong with it, but for $15.79, don't go for it. Then on to these ones, $16.99 coming at around $8.50 a piece. Sure, they're cool. Sure, they have decent ammo capacities, especially when all the ammo's held up in the scopes itself. But I would actually stay away from these things. I'd save your money and just get the extra money to put into this thing, coming at a price of $21. Easily the best gel blaster in this video. One of the best, cheapest gel blasters I've ever unboxed on this channel. With the highest FPS, RPS, and the best features out of all these blasters, being the only one that's electric. Definitely probably the best way to go out of all of these blasters here. So to put it into simple words, don't get these, don't get this. Maybe don't get these unless you really want to. Definitely go for these 2 blasters out of all these ones. So just in case you do want to get any of these blasters, I will put the affiliate links down in the description, but I can't guarantee that most of these blasters will be available at the time. I do know that these ones and this one are not available on Amazon anymore. Boo-hoo. I don't really care about that because I wouldn't recommend you to get them anyways, but I will put all the affiliate links that I can find down in the description for these blasters. And let me know in the comments down below which one of these blasters was your favorite. And in case you guys do want to see me do another video like this, leave a comment down below because I'd be happy to. I had a ton of fun filming this video, even though that some of these blasters were pretty crap. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you want to watch the video where I go over the top 10 best cheap gel blasters that you can get in 2025, watch that video up there. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you in that video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the top 10 best cheap gel blasters that you can get in 2025. I'll be basing this list on performance, value, features, gel blaster war usability, and overall functionality. I put a lot of time into crafting this list, so I hope you guys enjoy it, but some people are going to disagree, but that's okay. But anyways, let's get